Good morning guys, welcome to the Shades and a brand new video today. We're talking about the Chelsea away match of St. Mary's to Southampton Football Club. It's going to be a big match for us. We're going to play our third match in 8 days. We have been playing this quite oftenly right now. We played Liverpool, we played Grimsby Town, we played Brighton. Now we played Lille in the Champions League, our last match, and now we're playing Southampton. It's back-to-back matches. It'll be interesting to see how we go ahead with this. Now, before I go ahead with the preview of the match, we're going to talk about a couple of things here. Starting with Chelsea call-up. The players from Chelsea have been called up for England. So obviously we know Ross Barkley and Mason Mount has been playing for England now. Especially Ross Barkley has been a regular. His form has been pretty well for England lately than for Chelsea. But he has got a call-up. Mason Mount again has got a call-up. But the big news is Tammy Abraham. Big congratulations. It's been a great week for him. He had his birthday. He scored his first goal in the Champions League and now getting a call up, which was expected. We were just waiting for that news. We did want him to play for England and not for Nigeria. No disrespect to Nigeria, but yeah, but we wanted him to play for England and he also wanted it. So it's a great news. Gareth Southgate, great news that he has been called up. But more than that, and though I like the fact that how Tammy is and how he has improved and how many of us thought that he might still not be a Premier League level striker, but he is till now has proven us wrong, which is good for Chelsea. As long as good for Chelsea is good with us, even if we are wrong. But the big thing is Tomori, and it's a huge thing for Tomori to get a call up for England at this moment. I'll tell you about the thing 3-4 months back when Chelsea was in the Europa Cup. We made a video. I was talking to a couple of people, and a lot of people said that Tomori, if Derby gets promoted, he should stick with Derby and play in the Premier League. And in case Derby doesn't get promoted, there's a chance he should be loaned out to one of the Premiership teams. Could be a Wolves, Watford, Southampton. He gets to play Aston Villa. He gets to play one of those teams, and improves his game. The reason was that we expected David Luiz and Rudiger to be our first choice defenders, Kurt Zouma to be a great defender because of the time he had at Everton. We expected him to have a great time. Unfortunately, it's not the case as yet. And Christensen. So we had already had 4 defenders. Tomori would have been our 5th defender. If that would have been said, obviously it would have been great that he would have got more match time had he been moving to a different club, even on loan. However, this is how time turns. David Luiz left for Arsenal. Rudiger is injured and we don't know when he's going to come back. Zouma is not having the best of the season, though he had a great season last season with Everton. This season has been completely different for him. Christensen is on and off. 2 seasons ago, he had a very good season, especially the start of the season under Conte was very good. 3 seasons ago, but it has not been since. And Tomori, who could have been the 5th choice defender, has become our 1st choice defender. So right now, when we talk about the team news, we don't talk about who's going to partner Zouma, or who's going to partner Christensen, or who's going to partner Rudiger. We talk about who's going to partner Tomori. That's huge. And I guess because Frank was there with Tomori last season at Derby, he knew the potential that he has, which obviously many of us have not seen him that much. We did not know. And that makes him our number 1 defender, and it's huge to see our number 1 defender right now is not Rudiger, not Zouma, not Christensen, but it's Fikayo Tomori. It's amazing, and that amazingness has to be congratulated, a huge thing, because we need to congratulate Tomori for his call-up. Gareth Southgate has done a great thing. If you remember, if you know, that there are quite a few top teams out there, and there's quite a few good defenders for England. So some of those guys play for some other clubs, and the fact that this guy comes up from this young Chelsea side and makes it to the English lineup is huge. So the big congratulations to Tomori for his call-up to England. So that is a huge news for me. I also was one of the people who thought that maybe he should go to some other club for one more season, get his game up. But his game is already up, and he doesn't need to go to some other place. He needs to be at Chelsea, maybe a future Chelsea's captain. He's going to be a great defender, could be a great Chelsea legend. So congratulations once again to Tomori and Tammy Abraham, other than Mason Mount and Ross Barkley, for the call-up. Now we'll go up a little bit before you talk about the next thing about the preview for Chelsea match against Southampton. We talk about a little bit about what's going on this weekend in the Premier League, especially with our direct rivals. Obviously, Liverpool and Man City are no longer our direct rivals. Still, I'll talk a little bit about them. But before that, we'll start off with Spurs. There's going to be an early match today against Brighton away from home. And Brighton against us last week at the Bridge, they played well. It's the only thing that Chelsea scored the goal and made it happen. We got the 3 points. But Brighton at home would be a different team. Spurs, after their midweek loss 7-2 to Bayern, which again I feel that Spurs played well. But considering 7 goals, obviously it gets your confidence down, way down. So it'll be interesting to see how they play. I still believe Brighton have been struggling and will be struggling throughout the season like they have done it last season. I don't see Brighton to go out there and finish in the top 12 or something. They will always struggle. Even if they stay in the Premier League, they will struggle and keep on struggling until the end of the season and somehow maybe manage to stay or may get relegated. But overall, I don't see Spurs losing this match or dropping points. They will be out there hungry enough to win it. Obviously, if Brighton plays well, there is a chance, maybe there's a chance that maybe Spurs drops points. We'll expect that, hope for that more than that. So the early match is that, Brighton versus Spurs. Then all the other matches of our direct rivals, the Man United and Arsenal, are with us on Sunday. But we'll talk a little bit about Liverpool's match. So I've got a few of my friends who watch this channel and who are fans of certain clubs, Liverpool and Man City, and they tell me to talk a little bit about this club. So just a little bit preview because it might just work for us as well. Liverpool playing Leicester City. Leicester City is having a great form this season. However, saying that Liverpool is at Anfield playing this match, and even the best of teams don't get to go to Anfield and beat them. We have seen that when Barcelona last season in the Champions League semi-finals when they lost 4-0. It was unexpected, but that happened. So I don't see Leicester City, however good they are playing, going to Anfield and getting 3 points or even 1 point in that matter. Leicester City 2 weeks ago went to Old Trafford and lost to Manchester United. So I don't see Leicester City going. They might play well against some of the smaller teams, the mid-level teams, and they might get points. And that's the reason why I guess Leicester is 3rd or 4th right now. But I don't see going to Liverpool of all teams and getting even a point. So pretty much Liverpool's going to win it. Then next, coming to the matches on Sunday, especially the Man City match. They play Wolves. At home, I don't see a reason for Man City not to win this match. Pretty much they're going to win it comfortably, maybe 3-0 or something. So not much to talk on that one. We'll talk about direct rivals these days, as it was always Arsenal and Man United, but these days things are different. So we'll talk about Arsenal first. Arsenal, according to me, is a little bit like Chelsea. It's a little unpredictable. We don't know how we're going to play, how Arsenal is going to play. Similar to that, we don't know how Arsenal are going to line up, because they're giving, just like Chelsea, they're giving a lot of their youngsters a chance to play, which is good. They got a good victory at the Europa Cup 3 days ago, or 2 days ago actually. But we'll have to see how they play. But sometimes they play well, sometimes they play well and still don't get the result. I mean, I've seen this one match where they were 2-1 down, but they went on to win the match 3-2. That's how good their attacking lineup is. If that gets going, it's one of the best attacking lineups in Europe. However, it's not going that way. I mean, like what happened in, last season with Sarri, a lot of the Chelsea fans wanted him out. This season is happening with Arsenal, even though it's so early in the league of the season. A lot of the Arsenal fans are saying Emery out, which is, so early, should wait on. Obviously, he's not playing Ozil. That is also one of the main reasons. But it will be interesting to see how they line up, because at the Emirates, it's a home match for them against Bournemouth, who started very well this season. They have started this season pretty well, though I think right now they are 8th or 11th. I'm not sure about their league position, Bournemouth. However, they started very well. They were doing well. So it'll be interesting if Bournemouth plays well, and if Arsenal, because Arsenal's played a Monday night match, they played on Thursday, and now they're playing on Sunday. So unless Emery changes the team a little bit, they might have a fatigue factor. Bournemouth will be rested for the last 7 days or something. They have not played any matches. So it could be an interesting, if Arsenal underplays, underperforms and Bournemouth plays well, there's a very good chance that Arsenal can drop points. Interesting, but I think Arsenal at home might be able to get the 3 points, but you never know. Anything happens is good for us if they drop points. We go to the other match, It will be Newcastle at St James's. I love calling it St James's. I know the name change, but Newcastle playing at home against Manchester United. Manchester United dropped points. They played Alkmaar in the Europa Cup 0-0, and well, they couldn't score a goal, and they dropped points over there. So it'll be interesting what this Manchester United does. Again, they played Arsenal last Monday, which was a 1-1 draw. They again played the Europa Cup on Thursday, and now again they're playing on a Sunday away from Newcastle. But recently I've seen Manchester United has done pretty well in some of the clubs which are struggling. Newcastle themselves are struggling. They conceded 5 goals against Leicester last week. So it'll be interesting to see at home how they play, what the response is, because the Newcastle crowd, the Geordies, their crowd is different. So their attitude is different. So they will not want their team to suck at home. So that'll be interesting for them to how they go. But I think Manchester United is also struggling. Newcastle is also struggling. So it'll be interesting. In recent times, if you look at it, Manchester United has got their points against Newcastle home and away. So it's a chance that Manchester United might just get the 3 points. But I think Newcastle will try to do something over here and maybe get a point, which is good for us. So now all said about all our rivals, let's talk about our own matches. Obviously, as we talk about them, I'm pretty sure their fans will like to see what Chelsea does. And they will also like us to drop points. So we go at St Mary's, Southampton away match for Chelsea. Interestingly, we also play our 3rd match in 8 days. And we got 1 day extra rest. However, let's see how it goes with Southampton. First and foremost, we don't know what the formation is, which is a good thing. With Sarri, I used to see that we used to play with some same formation. With Frank, the great thing is he keeps it to himself, changes the formation, which is good always to have a plan B and a plan C. So that is a good thing what Frank is doing. He's playing different players, sometimes playing different players in different positions, like Mason Mount playing as a winger, Reece James playing in the midfield. This shows that he is going out with different ideas, which is good to see that the manager has ideas at least, that he can change and do something different about it. So you always know there is a chance to improve, and that is something good, very positive. So good thing. However, like Arsenal, our problem has been that we don't know how we are going to play. Some of our fans said it's going to be a draw. Some of us said it's 3-1 or 3-0. I, for one, I don't know. Going to Southampton, who is also struggling. If you look at Southampton, they have had a good team for the last 3-4 years. But many of their players are no longer there, namely VVD, who has moved to Liverpool. Big mention. But if you look at it, they have struggled even the last 3-4 years, even with big players in their team. And they've struggled and somehow still managed to stay in the Premiership. But if you look at it, this season they had a better start, because they're still around 14th or 15th, and they're always going to be in that range. But at home, you never know. Chelsea has never gone there to St Mary's, as much I can remember, and actually won it comfortably. I remember this one match. That was the first match at St Mary's almost 18 years ago or something, where Chelsea, it was very tough, it was very hot. Graham Rousseau was playing for Chelsea those days, and Chelsea got a 1-0 victory. I remember that match. But eventually, if you look at it, it's been not so easy for Chelsea to go to somewhere like St Mary's and win matches. So it will be interesting to see how we perform. What are the changes that Frank brings? So Frank is good that Frank comes up with the different formations. We have to see if he plays the same players over and over again or not. If he does that, then that could be a problem. So we have to see that change is done or not. Do we see Reece James playing in the left, or rather right back? Do we see Aspilicueta playing? He plays regularly. Do we see Jorginho playing, or he gets drops? I don't think both the captain and the vice captain. By the way, congratulations to Jorginho for getting the vice captain armband. But do you think he will play? Do you think N'Golo Kante will play this match? Now he's just out of his injury, has just come back. Will he play his second match in 4 days? I'm not sure about that. Do you think Mason Mount needs a rest? Because some of the fans, and I agree, that maybe Mason needs a little bit of rest. He is like the Dele Alli 2 years ago. If you remember Dele Alli with Spurs 2 years ago, he was unstoppable, and Real Madrid was talking about him. Right now, Mason Mount, Real Madrid is talking about Mason Mount. But the thing is, he's still very young, and at times he needs a little bit of rest. I know a lot of you will not agree with me, especially the ones in England. But to tell you the truth, he also needs some time. And at times he looked a little bit struggling. So, what if he gets a rest? I don't think so. Like what Bakayoko was to Conte, and Jorginho to Surrey. I'm pretty sure Mason Mount is to Frank. Mason Mount has played with Frank last season with Derby. I don't see Frank is going to change it and not play him. So he's going to be pretty much up there. But playing as a winger, when you have Pulisic, and again, my American fans out there, I don't want to start this, but yeah, we'll have to talk about a little bit of a Pulisic. I will come to it. But we'll have to see that. Do Hudson-Odoi start this match? Because he has come in as a sub. Willian has been scoring goals. But now that Willian has played 2 matches back to back, do we think Willian goes to the subs bench and Hudson-Odoi start this match? It'll be interesting. Good for a manager that he has so many options. But at times he needs to use his options. We came across a news from Deschamps, a former Chelsea. He played for 1 season with Chelsea. That the French manager wants Giroud to play. And again, I'm pretty sure Frank is not going to listen to it. I'm still very sure with the kind of form Tammy has, he's going to start. But if Giroud, then why not Batshuayi will start this match, in case that happens. So it will be a lot of questions out there. A lot of players should be coming in and out. Ross Barkley, for example, he did not start that match against Lille in the midweek. Does he come back and play in this match? Does he start this match? It will be very interesting, very tough to predict the Chelsea lineup in the first place. But if in case we get a goal in the first 30 minutes, we have been a kind of team who can score the second goal within the next 2 minutes and then third goal in the next 3 minutes. It has happened this season. So it's interesting and important for us to go ahead and score that goal very early. However, if our opponent team gets to go ahead and score a goal, we have to see how it goes. Because remember, I'm pretty sure, I remember one of the people, I just remember it right now, one of the Chelsea fans told me that day that with the kind of players Southampton has right now, good many tall players, and with the way of our record of defending set pieces, we are not defending set pieces at all well. Though we have some tall players, from Tammy Abraham is 6'3", Tomori is 6'1", Zuma is 6'1", 6'2". There's so many, even Giroud and so many others who are all 6 feet or above in height. Yet we have been so bad at defending set pieces. I'm pretty sure we're going to concede 1 goal against Southampton. So we do have it to score 2 goals against them. It'll be interesting how they set up the Southampton team, because I for one believe that if they score a goal early, it needs to be seen how interestingly we are going out there and getting 2 goals. It will not be easy. I still believe that Southampton will be a good side, and it will not be easy for us to go out there and beat them. I think that the whole formation and our leaking of goals, especially against set pieces, will hit us bad. But it all depends how we change the formation. I think for me, I'll start with Kepa and Tomori in the defense. Kepa at goal, Tomori and Zuma in the defense. Azpilicueta and Alonso. I'm pretty sure Alonso will play unless Emerson comes back, which I don't think will happen. I also don't know when Rudiger will come back. I don't know what will happen to that. Then pretty sure Jorginho will play, and maybe most likely Kante will come in, because we don't want to see a situation where we drop points to Southampton if our other direct rivals are getting points. That will be interesting to see, but then Kante is also someone who has been getting injured. We don't want that to happen. We have a good player like Kovacic in the team. We have players like Ross Barkley who might also get a start. I'm pretty sure Mason Mount is going to play in the wings, and most likely Hudson-Odoi will start. Though Willian has been scoring goals, but maybe in this match Hudson-Odoi might start and Willian comes in later on. And Tammy Abraham, to all our disappointment in a sense, though I like Tammy Abraham a lot and he gets to play, but when you're playing back-to-back matches, I think you need fresher legs, and maybe Batshuayi or Giroud should come in the team certain time of the match, maybe in the last half an hour, 25 minutes or so. We'd love to see Pulisic in, but at this situation where Willian is scoring goals somehow, and how Hudson-Odoi is playing, and with Frank's preference for Mason Mount in the wings, it is highly unlikely that I see that Pulisic is going to start this match. But we'd like to see Pulisic on the bench at least getting last 15-20 minutes. And this is to Frank, like, if you brought a player like that, and if you don't play him, at least don't keep him on the bench, or at least not bring him for the last 15 minutes, how he's going to learn? If he's not going to play against the likes of Southampton, who is going to play against? So I hope that Pulisic plays this match at some point, maybe 15-20 minutes, and get something. Hopefully Chelsea gets a 2-0 up in the 60 minutes. I know it might not happen that way, but if we can get a 2-0 up, and maybe that time we can bring on Pulisic for the last half an hour or so. Wishful thinking, I pray that maybe Pulisic comes in somewhere, and I hope that Chelsea wins. At the end of the day, that really matters is the Chelsea 3 points, because Arsenal at home, Man United away to Newcastle, it could be points for those teams, and we don't want to lose or draw matches against Southampton, because again, Spurs are playing Brighton today. It'll be interesting. You guys let me know now. What do you guys think about the Tomori going to England, playing for England with a national call-up? Who will win against Spurs or Arsenal or Manchester United? Will they win their matches? What will Chelsea do in Southampton? Do we get a draw? Do we get a win? You let me know in the comment section as always. Watch the whole video and let me know. So until next time, which will be Monday. Ciao. Bye-bye.